Hey, welcome back. It's NukaViolet here. This haunted house is located right above Hopewell Cave, and it has the best cemetery. Not only does it have some epic mountain views, but it also has a lot of details that are perfect for your Halloween camp. It has skeletons, coffins, tombstones, and even comes with its own lighting, so you can save a little bit of budget on that. It also has this little bird cage. If you knock it over, place an object where it was, and then log back in, your object will be inside of the cage, which makes for a really cool effect. Another great feature of this location are the textures. If you place any camp items on these, it translates to the objects. While I was scouting the area, I was trying to find the perfect spot to build the house. This can sometimes be tricky because the terrain isn't flat and there's a lot of trees around. I don't like to build too close to the trees because some of the trees will clip through your house. For the smaller trees, you can place objects on top of them and they'll disappear. As for the larger trees, you just have to embrace them. For this build, it wasn't a big deal because I wasn't building a nice, clean, modern house. This is the largest open area to build your house. When I think of a haunted house, I always imagine one of those cartoony, stylized versions, the ones that have multiple roof heights and lots of pointy edges. They look really unkept and overgrown. So in order to recreate this look, I ended up using the Rest in Pieces build set. It was perfect for this build. It has a lot of unique details that give it that spooky vibe. On some of my outer wall pieces, I flipped them so that they were facing outwards. This revealed the wall studs and added some extra texture that the lights could bounce off of. Because this build is so tall, I had a lot of opportunities to hide my generators. If you look inside this roof piece, you can see the generator looks like it's floating. And that's because I placed the generator on a slanted roof and then switched it back to the window version. I did this in 3 separate areas so I would have enough power for my house. And then I ran a connection from the top all the way to the bottom of the build. I really wanted to customize this location and make it my own. So I added a few extra details to the cemetery. I utilized a couple different merging techniques to make this happen. And if you're wondering how I did any of these merges, I have an entire tutorial dedicated to merging. The first one is this Wendigo wall mount that looks like it's climbing out of the ground. It's actually connected to this tombstone. By placing the wall mount on the tombstone, I'm able to bypass the error that I would get if I tried to just place it right into the dirt by itself. I used that same technique to sink this Wendigo and the Earl heads. The only difference is I used a coffin and a conduit as my anchor point. This merge was a little bit trickier to place, and that's because it's connected to a foundation. If I had a little bit more budget, I would definitely go back and decorate this foundation so it blends in more. As we head into the house, you'll notice that I used even more merges. These 2 in the window were done using the destroy method. I noticed this meat bag was really dark and hard to see, so I added a candle on top of the meat bag in between the wall. This way I could use the light without it being seen. I wanted this hound to look like he was breaking through the window. So I flipped this window to a doorway, destroyed it, then I placed the hound on the foundation, destroyed that, then I rebuilt everything and flipped the doorway back to a window. I built this kitchen for a serial killer. He'll chop up anything that he can find, including his own kind. I thought this was the perfect opportunity to use the super mutant parts. So I placed the display cabinet right next to the refrigerator where he would have quick access to his meat and tools. As you head up the stairs, you can see that my railings are actually a custom pony wall. I used these so I could display some items and add a little bit more interest to the area. Then I dotted around a couple more spooky things until you get to the Deathclaw area. I was trying to think of a creative way to show the little toy Deathclaw, so I added a half floor and a door to this window to make a custom Deathclaw enclosure. To stay consistent with the toy theme, I decided to bring the rest of the toys to life. And I did that by creating a closet full of toys that look like they're walking out. I made sure to pick all the creepy toys so that you would get a sense of the type of kid that would be in this room and that he would be the son of a serial killer. I also used the half upper floors to create this closet. And you can't actually walk into this room because the entrance is only half of a doorway. Moving on to the master bedroom, things start to get a little creepier. Not only is there a spooky collection of dolls, there's also a clown watching an owl getting eaten by a snally. Lastly, I made sure to leave plenty of budget for my lighting. All of the exterior lighting was done with the red floodlight. I was going back and forth playing with purple and red lights and ultimately decided on the red because they took up less budget. I think it still gave it a pretty spooky effect, and I'm happy I went with the red because I was able to place more lights. If you'd like to support my channel, don't forget to check out my website at thegraphicschick.com. That's where I sell a lot of my Fallout inspired artwork. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one.